The year is 1812. America is still young, fragile, and uncertain. The nation has survived revolution, but the wounds remain fresh, and the dream of independence still feels unsteady. Many fear that the shadow of the British Empire has not truly faded. On the Atlantic, American merchant ships sail bravely, their white sails catching the wind as they carry grain, cotton, and timber across the oceans. Yet every voyage is haunted by the threat of capture, for at any moment a British warship may appear on the horizon. The blockade grows ever tighter. British vessels patrol the waters, their cannons silent yet menacing, determined to choke American trade and prove that rebellion was nothing more than a fleeting spark. Out at sea, impressment tears through American crews. British sailors storm decks, dragging men away and forcing them into service. Families are left broken, fathers vanish into the endless sea, and freedom itself feels stolen. In Washington, President James Madison studies reports by candlelight, his quill scratching across parchment as he weighs the cost of war. He knows Britain has gone too far, yet even as he writes, he feels the weight of the price his nation will pay. In Congress, debate rages fiercely. Some claim the Republic is too weak, too unprepared for conflict, while others cry out for honor, for sovereignty, and for war. Their voices rise and fall like cannon fire echoing through the chamber. Far from the cities, deep in the forests, native warriors gather around fires, their faces painted, their eyes set with determination. British officers hand them muskets and powder, promising alliance. For the tribes, this is not politics but survival, a fight for their lands. On the frontier, villages burn. Flames devour wooden homes as mothers clutch their children and flee into the night. Smoke fills the skies, a grim reminder that the war is not distant, it is already at their doors. Madison knows the moment has come. He addresses Congress with a steady voice, declaring that the United States must defend itself, for silence and hesitation can no longer protect the nation. On June 18, 1812, Congress approves the declaration of war. Applause erupts in the chamber. Some cheer with pride while others tremble with fear, but the decision is made. Once again, America and Britain are at war. Young soldiers raise the Republic's flag high, their faces filled with equal parts fear and determination. They do not know if they will return, but they know they must defend their honor. Across the seas, the British Navy tightens its grip. Waves crash against hulls, sails stretch endlessly across the horizon, and thunder rumbles in the distance as America gasps for breath under the weight of empire. On open fields, militias drill with rusty muskets and scarce supplies. Farmers turned fighters march with resolve, hoping courage will replace discipline. Meanwhile, across the Atlantic, British redcoats march with flawless precision, drums beating, bayonets gleaming in the sun. They represent centuries of power. On American farms, men abandon plows for muskets, kiss their families goodbye, and walk toward uncertain battle, hearts heavy yet unbroken. In London, British officers study maps with cold confidence. To them, this American war is merely a distraction, one they expect to end quickly. They underestimate the fire of a young nation. In American shipyards, sparks fly as hammers strike iron and planks are nailed into place. New frigates rise, symbols of defiance crafted from sweat and determination. Newspapers roar with headlines of war, spreading across towns and igniting debate in coffee houses. Some men boast of certain victory, while others whisper of looming disaster. Soldiers march away from their towns, families lining the roads in sorrowful silence. Mothers weep, wives cling to their husbands, and sons wave goodbye to fathers. Hope and despair weigh heavier than muskets. On the frontier, native warriors strike, flaming arrows arching through the night sky as borderlands drown in chaos. American scouts move cautiously through forests, rifles raised, hearts pounding, every twig snap a possible death. The wilderness itself becomes a battlefield. Two flags whip in the storm wind, the stars and stripes against the Union Jack, as the world watches to see if this fragile republic can stand against empire. Battles erupt with deafening musket fire. Smoke blankets the fields, men shout and fall, and desperation rules the day. British troops push forward through mud and rain, their bayonets flashing in cannon smoke, discipline guiding every step. At sea, American frigates clash with the Royal Navy. Cannons roar, waters explode, and sailors cheer at unlikely victories that stun the world. For native tribes, the war is a cruel gamble, some aligning with Britain, others resisting both sides, their future uncertain as blood is spilled on their homelands. In Washington, Madison gazes through rain-streaked windows at a trembling nation, yet his resolve does not break. American soldiers march through storms, starving, exhausted, yet unyielding, their boots sinking into mud while their spirit carries them further than their bodies should allow. The war spreads across forests, rivers, lakes, and seas. Maps shift with every skirmish, towns rise and fall, cannons thunder without rest. Through smoke and ruin, a torn American flag still waves defiantly. The drums of war echo into silence. The War of 1812 has begun, and the story of America enters a darker and defining chapter.